Hello everyone, this is Mousumi Paul, an Assistant Professor of English Language of Swami Vivekananda Institute of Science and Technology. Today I'll be talking about levels of communication.
Right. So there are primarily three types of levels of communication or three levels of communication. What are those? The first one is intrapersonal communication, the second one is interpersonal communication, and the last one is group communication. Okay, that is also known as public speaking. When you are actually communicating with a large number of people or with a group, of course, consisted of various people, of many people, and that's why it is considered to be public speaking. So let us say that what is intrapersonal communication? From the title itself, we can understand that it is conscious internal dialogue, sometimes known as a self-talk. Self-talk means when you have something in your mind and you are conversing with your own self. That is considered to be intrapersonal communication. It is language use or thought internal to the communicator. It's not very obvious that you can see it from outside. No, because you are having a conversation with yourself, you are taking some decision, you are planning something, you are having a thought. So it's a thought process, and during that thought process, all of the human beings, we what we do, we converse with our own self. The individual becomes his or her own sender and receiver. So we know the entire process of communication. The entire process of formal communication, like there must have been a sender, a receiver, in between feedback channel, etc., etc. So here, you as an individual, you play the role of your own sender and receiver, providing feedback to him or herself in an ongoing internal process. So the entire process is like you are the speaker, you are communicating with yourself, you are taking the decision, and you are taking the decision means you are giving the feedback to yourself. So it can be useful to envision intrapersonal communication occurring in the mind of the individual in a model which contains a sender, receiver, and feedback loop. So what are the whatever important elements a process of communication has, it takes place in this intrapersonal communication in this way, when you are conversing with yourself. Interpersonal, of course, from the title itself, you can understand it's a communication between two or more people. So when you are having a communication or conversation with someone else, or with more than someone, with two or three people, three persons, it is called interpersonal communication. It can be face-to-face conversation between two people, and that is the most frequent form, most common form of interpersonal communication. Nurses use interpersonal communication to gather information during assessment of a patient. Like when when you find a patient and a nurse or a doctor has come to visit him, the patient, there must have been an interpersonal communication, because the nurse or the doctor needs to know the information or the whereabouts of the patient, so that the treatment gets started. Right. So to teach about health issue, to explain care, and to provide comfort and support, a nurse always needs to have an interpersonal communication with the patient. Even it is applicable for a doctor also. It's nothing but the basic objective or purpose is to gather information for the evaluation purpose, for the assessment purpose, to gather more information, right? And the last one is group communication, and of course it is what should I say, like it is a miniature of public speaking. It is interaction that occurs among several people. That's why it's a group communication. Small group communication occurs when you engage in an exchange of ideas with two or more individuals at the same time. So this is nothing very this actually doesn't need to be explained with extra words, because it is very much obvious that it's a group communication. So more number of people, there is a requirement of more number of people. Now, public speaking, what is that? It is unique form of group communication. Of course, it's nothing but public speaking is an extended version of group communication. Generally, the speaker addresses a dozen to hundreds of people. When you are acting the role of a public speaker, what do? You just address a large number of audience, a large number of people, a large number of listeners. And varying degrees of interaction occur. It can be like you start the conversation with a certain topic, then it actually goes to various ways, various paths. Speaker may deliver a speech talk directly with a group of audience members, or have open discussion with the group. It is at the heart of our economy, society, and politics. So wherever you go, whichever field you choose, you will find that, be it our societal issue, be it our political issue, be it our economical issue, or whatever else it is, you will find that there is a need of public speaking. There is a need of addressing people. Nurses often engage in public speaking to educate groups of people about health issues. While someone, or let's say, there is a requirement of a class which is supposed to be for a large number of people, then its public speaking is required, where you will be find a speaker and who will be addressing a large number of people. So the purpose of conveying the message or conveying the important information gets easily conveyed to a large number of people. Now, factors in verbal and non-verbal modes of communication. Let us just have a quick glance of it, like verbal and non-verbal communication, types of communication. So, in verbal communication, what happens, like pace and intonation? In non-verbal communication, it's all about facial expression. The way you just frown, the way you nod your head, the way you move your fingers, the way you give a look. So, it's all about your facial expression. But in verbal communication, it's all about pace and intonation, the way you say, when sometimes you are raising your voice, sometimes you are lowering it down, so etc, etc. Verbal communication is very simple, so it is consisted of simplicity, whereas non-verbal communication is all about posture and gait, the way you sit, the way you stand, the way you walk. So these are all the features of non-verbal communication. In verbal communication, there must have been clarity and brevity. You need to make the sentence, you need to make everything very brief, and clarity must be retained. And in non-verbal communication, it's all about personal appearance, the way you present yourself. Timing and relevance, it's all about gesture, adaptability.